Put it on, girl. Let me see it. Put it on, girl. Let me see it.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Accidentally Informed, where
we are surviving Mercury in retrograde.
Is that what's happening right now?
Yes.
Because
There's so much. I've been talking to the Lord, okay? Like, listen, like God, I'm faithful, okay? Please just make everything come together.
Did you have a rough weekend?
In Jesus' day, it's just, it's Mercury in retrograde. When things go wrong, things just continue to go wrong. And, it's all in our favor. It is all in our favor.
I had a fun weekend.
Yes?
I did.
You look like you had a fun weekend.
I did. I had a fun weekend.
Okay. Do you care to elaborate?
Well, I went to New York and I went to the Boyz II Men New Edition Toni Braxton concert. It was super, super cute. I had a great time.
Nice. You look so refreshed.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
Well, your girl's been sleeping in. So, yeah.
I love that. Hello to our informers. Trishan says, "Sup, C Murda."
Hi.
Happy Wednesday, London 1963. I love you guys. Aretha 4899. We love you. Oh, Shea Butter Mama, y'all wine. Yes, I do have wine today.
Oh, have you been drinking?
I haven't been drinking. This is my second sip I'm about to take because you know what? I deserve it.
Oh, you have to catch me up in the group chat or in the chat later on to see what's going on. But we got some good things on the horizon. Like I think some exciting things will be happening fairly soon in life. I know we will be going to New York together soon. We'll have more on that soon when it's confirmed. Maybe we'll have another hookah bar night, but we'll switch out the characters.
Oh, okay. I love this conversation.
You was arguing last time with who was there. Yeah, I was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah, I did. You know what? We should have known then.
So I brought a guy friend to have hookah with us, who I've known for a while, and him and Erica was just like, they were having a debate about something, and neither one of them were gonna back down. And she was going for the jugular.
I can't help myself. I'm an Aquarius, neurospicy first daughter, so that's how we roll.
Well, I was like, well, damn, she going in. All right, listen, we got a lot of show today, really exciting stuff. So I should ask you how you doing. How you doing, friend?
Oh, I'm good. I am good. I'm good. It's just life. Life throws loops at you and you just, transmute them into beautiful things. So I'm in the transmutation process.
Transmutation. Yes. Is that like making lemonade out of lemons?
Exactly. Transmuting lemons.
Transmuting. See, it sounds like deformity when you say transmuting. All right, listen, let's get into it. Today's show is all about some must-see TV that's happening tonight. Our first guest went looking for love on Netflix Age of Attraction, a reality show that doesn't reveal age until after people fall for each other. Now, he's a lawyer who fell for someone who's 33 years younger than him. Please welcome to the show, Jorge Sanchez.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hey.
What's happening? Just let you know, Erica, I come in peace. I don't want no smoke. All right. So whatever retrograde or neurodiversity, hey man, I'm peaceful.
First of all, he's an attorney and he can hold his own. We've had our arguments before. I'm just letting you know right now.
But you love me though. But you love me though.
Yeah, I just want to strangle you sometimes. Ooh. But that's what makes you a good lawyer, a good screenwriter, a good producer. He has plays and films. He does a lot of work with Morris Chestnut. He's very accomplished, and he's from Dallas, and he's a practicing attorney out here, criminal defense attorney, right?
Yes, originally from New York, but I live in LA now, but I'm originally from New York. But I'm a criminal defense attorney, still practicing, filmmaker, writer, director. So yeah, do a little bit of it all.
Okay.
Well. Yeah. Jorge, I am not going to come for you. First of all, we don't do that to our guests.
Don't do that. Okay, good.
This is a very peaceful place. Okay. However, I do have to say, because when you said that you were 60, and I keep in mind, my father is older than you, but my father is one of those guys that people are always like, that's your daddy. I'm like, don't talk to my dad. Okay.
Right,
Don't
right,
he's in his 70s. He's a man of a certain age. Leave
right,
him alone. But you
right, right.
came in completely under the radar. I did not expect you to say that you were 60. So on a scale between 1 and 10, before this show, how confident were you that you were going to find love in the dating game?
Find love when I went to Age of Attraction.
Mm.
Ooh, that was. I went to Age of Attraction open to whatever the possibilities were. Was I confident that I would find it? Probably about a 3. I don't know that I was, because I tend to be cynical. Like, I don't know about that. But it's one of those things you're like, I don't know. But you're looking around like, could it happen? So I was kind of like that.
Okay, well, let's talk about Age of Attraction now. What made you think this was a place to find love? Or, you're in LA. Listen, we all just get on shows sometimes just to work, to network, and all that. Did you think it was a place of? What made you think it might be a place to find love?
Well, I definitely didn't go on there for networking. Age of
Okay.
Attraction, no.
Okay.
And so when I went on it, the concept appealed to me, right? Because it's kind of how I live my life. I don't believe that age should be the defining factor. Obviously, if I'm 60, I don't feel that age should be the defining factor. I think it should be more connection. That's always been my point of view. I realize it's a polarizing issue. People have many different feelings about it, but that was the way I felt about it. So it was kind of intriguing to me, the concept, because I'm like, okay, well, now I'll get to go on the show and see if what I always say is true. So it was kind of one of those things that I was very intrigued by the concept, and it was the right opportunity at the right time.
So you matched with Vanelle, who is 33 years your junior. What exactly drew you to her?
So Vanelle to me is an amazing woman, just straight up. I think she's an amazing woman. I think that her quiet energy, I'm always on 10, as Claudia knows, I'm always on 10. And so sometimes a woman with real quiet energy calms me. I mean, feminine energy, period, calms. It's diffusing to me, and I gravitate to it. But Vanelle had a very quiet. It was something about her from when I met her. Like, I felt really protective of her, right? So I was like, I like her, I dig her energy, and then our conversations were different than any conversations I was having up there. So it was like one of those instant connections. Like, okay, I really jive with her. Like, I didn't expect this. It was like each time we went on a date, it was more and more surprising, and we got closer.
Now, when you found out there was a 33-year-old age difference, which is kind of crazy. I think I know you, and I didn't realize you were 60. But today's 60 is not our parents' 60. So what was your first thought when you were like, oh, wow, that's that big of an age gap? What'd you think?
Oh shit. That's what
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
When she said 27, I thought, okay, maybe she's in her 30s, mid 30s, and I'm gonna have to fade this bullet. But when she said 27, you see me go, what? Like,
Yeah.
in my mind, I was like, oh shit. I can only imagine what's gonna happen. But if I keep true to what I believe, well, then it shouldn't be a factor. It shouldn't matter if I connected with her. And the thing is, what you don't get a chance to see on reality TV is we had gone on dates. So we had spent time. It wasn't like no one and done. We had spent some time. So I got to know her, and our connection was so strong that I felt like, you know what, at this point, I'm not going to say, well, you know what, because we have this big gap, I'm not going to talk to you. To me, that would be hypocritical to what I believe and what the show is about. So I said, no, I'm going to explore it. I see you, Erica. I see you.
Listen, first of all, full disclosure, one of my closest friends, Angel Martinez, is on the show as well. So you must have dated Angel.
No, I didn't go on a date with Angel.
You didn't go on any dates with her? Oh, okay.
So we didn't date everybody. So
okay.
There was maybe 5 or 6 that we did in the speed dating, and then you tried to mix and mingle as much best you could. I know Angel; she's cool. Me and her are real cool. So yeah,
Angel's super dope.
Yes.
But because she was on the show and she's a friend of mine, like I have like a couple different perspectives, more than like the average viewer. But I'm interested about the celibacy thing, because that definitely was a major storyline. How did you feel about it when she divulged that? And then also, how do you feel about it now? Because it seemed to be like where the drama kind of came into play.
A lot of drama. Well, my first response to it was, again, oh shit. And when she said she's abstinent, because I'm not abstinent, but once again, just like with her age, I didn't feel like that was going to be a defining factor for me to say no right then. I felt like, okay, so we're on this, exploration. Let's find out what happens. So when she first said it to me in the promise room, and I told her she never had to be worried about anything, I really believed that, and I felt that because I felt like, okay, we're gonna do a whole hell of a lot of talking in Vancouver. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna do a hell of a lot of talking because ain't nothing else going down. So that's how I felt about it. When we got to Vancouver, it was a little, it was a little, obviously, if you saw the show, there's little mixed messages. I think that when I look at it in hindsight, I thought I communicated well. Maybe I could have done better, but I just was confused because if you say that you're abstinent or celibate, then there's no intimacy, and one thing, let me just put it, I did not initiate an intimacy. You know what I'm saying? I did not.
Let me
So,
ask you about that, because I feel like you're getting painted as more the bad guy. It looked to me from what I thought that she was like being sexually aggressive or coming onto you and wanting to mess with you and teasing you. And I think am I right about that? Was she like was she trying to like get it popping with you a little bit? Because I remember you said stay on your side of the bed and she was trying you then.
Yeah, I'm not going to say tease me because I don't think she teased me, but you were definitely 100% right, Claudia. She was aggressive. She was definitely aggressive, but I don't have a problem with that. Like for me, that's like that. I'm like,
was she grinding on you? What happened?
I'm not, you see, I mean, there was she said oral intimacy. So I'll let you just.
Oh, she said that.
She said it on the show. She says, I asked her, what was that? She said oral intimacy. So, but the thing is, one thing, let me
think
just.
that's fair to like do that to like, that's just, Erica, can you say it in a nice way?
See, okay, here's the thing, because there is, to me, just as a viewer and as a woman, like there are going to be unspoken rules in a situation like this. The way that the editing or the final product came out looking like, the reason why I think that people had, backlash against you is because there's almost this unspoken rule that like, even if she said it, you can't say anything to confirm because it sounds like you said it. It's not that I'm not saying that it's right. I'm saying it's for it's the perspective.
What do you mean? What part?
Because so here's the thing, like you were in a lose-lose situation regardless. I'm just going to be honest with you about that. Because one, you're 33 years older than this woman. And although she is a woman and she can hold her own, there's going to be this power dynamic that is always going to be like perceived by the audience. Good, right, wrong, or indifferent. So if she says whatever she says about what happens, the only way that you kind of get away scot-free is to say nothing at all. Now, we understand about your personality that that's not in you to do that necessarily. But
so when you say nothing at all, meaning when she brought it up to me, don't say anything?
It's the only way that you were going to win, honestly.
Well, I've lost. I mean, what's funny is I'm getting killed and I'm like, I just said clarification that it's confusing to me. Now, let me just say this. Let me just put in this caveat. I absolutely do not want anybody coming for Vanelle. Like I protected her then, I'm gonna protect her now. She's a beautiful Black woman. She's a young woman doing her thing. If you want to come from somebody, come from me. I don't have a problem with that. I have my social media manager is my sister. My sister's like, she reads all that junk because there's been a lot. But I don't come for her. But that being said, I can't. It's not in me. I mean, it's similar to Claudia. It's not in me to just let it go. I have to understand so if you say this, but we're doing this, what does that mean? What does that look like? What are we trying to do? Because I'm confused. And I think that's what happened.
I'm reading between the lines, right? So basically you're on a dating show. People are intimate on the show. Not saying that you were pushing that on her. You were not at all. She makes it clear that she's abstinent, right? Not that she's a virgin, that she's abstinent. But then I saw you tell her to stay on her side of the bed. But then she was a little, she wanted to get it popping a little bit and play around. And there was for her words, she said there was some oral. So I'm assuming she went down on you. And then you're getting dragged because of I don't know why you're getting dragged because you didn't you didn't push it to go further than that. You was like,
Never.
right? Or did
Never.
you? Okay, so
Never.
what's the
Not
problem?
one time.
So why are you getting dragged for that then? I don't understand why they're dragging you.
So I stay away from social media because I've been
Okay.
getting dragged because I hear so much. But what I've heard is I'm getting dragged because one, I'm ancient, I'm old. Okay, cool, whatever. You feel what you want to feel. I'm with a 27-year-old. I didn't know her age, and that there have been people that said, "Oh, well, he's trying to have sex with her. He was trying to take advantage." I never tried to do anything. I never pushed anything. I never attempted to have sex with nothing. I didn't try to do anything. I wanted clarification as to what we were doing.
That
That's
makes
it.
sense.
Yeah. So, but they come for me, whatever it is, what it is.
Well, I think, no, I do think that this is an important conversation, though, because one, I understand when y'all filmed versus when this came out as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a climate and an environment that isn't going to look favorably on an older man, younger woman dynamic, particularly when there seems to be some type of power push-pull, particularly when we're talking about sexuality. It was just terrible timing for you. And I'm playing the diplomacy game. I don't have a dog in this fight because I think that everyone who went on to the show are adults and people can talk about the power dynamic. They can talk about all of these different things. But at the end of the day, everyone made a decision to go on the show and there was an entertainment value in the show. And that's the reason why people are watching it.
Well,
However,
what's funny for me, I'm sorry to interrupt you,
oh, no.
Erica, but what's funny for me is interesting for me is the two older white ladies on the show. One of them is extremely sexual and is pressing him to have sex with her. And the
Yes,
other,
it's not
both of them,
fair.
and no one's catching. They're not catching no heat.
They're actually
But me,
applauding
who
her.
didn't press anything.
Yes,
Right.
she's 27 years older, and I'm like, and I, of course, I'm a little biased. I'm your friend, but I'm also what's fair is fair, and I get it's because you're the man, she's the woman, but she's the other woman. What's her name? She's 27-year-old age difference.
It's Teresa.
Teresa, lovely woman.
Mhm.
They had sex on the first night, right? And no one was saying, they're like, "Oh, get your rocks off!" Like she applauded for it. You didn't have sex and didn't press it, and you're the bad guy. Also, you're black and you're a man.
I guess, and it's like just like you said, and then there's Vanessa with Logan, and she was pressing him to the point, like, what's going on? I ain't getting any. And I love Vanessa, I love to treat, they're cool with me, but I mean, they catch nothing. And me, who I didn't press, just like you said, Claudia, I didn't press anything, and I'm catching strays. And you know what the real hurtful one is? From black women. I'm like, wow. Like, I mean, there's a lot of sisters out there support me, and for those, I love you and appreciate you. Believe me, like I stand by. I come from two beautiful black women, and they raised me, and that's what I get down for that. But wow, I was really shocked by that.
What do they say? What kind of stuff are they saying?
You name it. It's the same three things. You lied about your children, which I did. You lie. You're older than her. You're too old for her. You don't need to be with her. You tried to press her for sex. And then, me defending her in Vancouver. Those are the things they talk about. And to me, I'm like, oh, you don't have a leg to stand on any of those things, but you want to come for me. And I was just shocked at who came for me. So I was like, wow. Okay.
I don't get why there'd be an issue with the age thing when everyone on that show signed up to be on a show that would potentially have someone of a different age, because you could have been on there, you could have been on the show and been hooked up with an 80-year-old woman. You didn't know what you were getting into when you got there.
True.
I'm gonna add a little clarity to this demographic. Again, Jorge, I'm not coming for you. I'm really
Yeah, you
not.
are. No, you're coming. You're coming.
No,
you're
I'm
coming.
not.
I'm just playing with you. I'm playing with you.
Really,
Eric,
I I wouldn't say be apologetic about it if I was.
I know you're not. I know you're not.
But
I'm totally playing
yeah,
with you.
no, I'm not coming for you. I think that there's a few schools of thought happening here, and I'm so glad that we can have this conversation, because I do think that it's important to have. You are going to have Black women who are going to be seeing their nieces, their daughters, and they are being in a protective phase over this young woman more than you. You're also getting a contingency of Black women who were in relationships where there was a severe power dynamic, imbalance of power dynamic, and they're now projecting their feelings about that onto you and your situation. Mm-hmm. So I can understand. It's almost like when you say, I can see it. Do I agree? Maybe not necessarily, but I can see it. And I'm just telling you, I can see it. And that's what I believe is happening.
And I have no problem with that. It's just the character assassination. I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't read the comments, but my sister told me one, and one woman said, "Oh yeah, this is gonna end in domestic violence." Really,
Wow.
really, like that's a real far. Like you're gonna really character assassinate me like that? Now, if you want to project your issues on me, fine, whatever. But like, really, what did you see? Did you see me do any of that? So it's like, wow. But okay,
I don't think you should be punished for the setup of the show. You did not know when you connected with this person her age. Why? I could see if this was a dating show where you saw a 27-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old, and a 50-year-old, and you was like, oh, hell no to the old ladies. I want the 27-year-old. You did not.
right,
You just went
right,
just solely on a connection. You weren't
right.
being a perv. And then I think because you're the oldest too, like I have seen it. I've been watching the show and I'm like, why are they acting like the show wasn't about an age difference?
Right, right.
And
I totally agree. I get no go ahead.
I want to ask you something that's not in our list of questions. I'm sorry, but I just have to ask you. I did see I know you have kids, and I know on the show, hopefully I can ask this, but on the show, Vanelle was mad at you she said that you didn't tell her you had kids.
Mhm.
So did you not tell her? Or, and I know how reality works because I've been on reality where you told not to ask her, well, not to tell her about your kids.
Well, first thing is she wasn't mad at me at all. Vanilla was, I'm sorry, excuse my.
Oh, your dog's doing, my cat's doing.
Yeah, he wants to get busy. She didn't wasn't mad at me at all, which bless the whole thing. But I just say I'm not gonna. I think first of all, Netflix amazing. I think the whole concept of everything like that. If I'd have followed my mind and done what I wanted to do, I would have told her after the third date, which is what I wanted to do. I didn't. Whatever happened. I didn't, and it came out. So it came out. I'm sorry, my dog is really tripping. Farrell, you next stop.
Did production try to tell you not to tell her?
I'm not going to say production. I'll just say I just would. There was.
Okay, blink twice if somebody told you. Because I'm feeling like.
Jorge's like, I'm not trying to mess up.
No, the production did an amazing job. They had nothing to. I'll put it to you like this. I'm going to take responsibility, and Claudia knows. First of all, Claudia is one of the best journalists ever. She could get. She gets white out of snow. You hear me? Like she will get the tea. And that's what I have loved for her. I love this woman. Let me just say that. But I feel like this. I take full responsibility. I chose, I chose not to follow my mind and not to listen to what was said. And I chose to not tell her when she asked me the question. I didn't lie. I just didn't answer her first question. I said, "You want kids?" And I answered that question. Of course, they all come from "You're a liar, you're a liar." The funny thing about it is, and I was laughing with my friend, is, did Vanelle have a problem with it? Absolutely not. Vanelle didn't care. And when we talked about it, she's like, I don't care about that. She's like, the mere fact that she was like, if you could have been 80, and I'd have been like, yeah, let's continue. So, she's like, I don't feel like Vanelle cared about my children. She didn't. And that wasn't an issue. It was an issue for everybody else.
Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing else. I don't want you to get in trouble. Erica, you know what this is? You read in between the lines, right?
I understand what's happening. But here's the thing, because you're responding to the backlash, and one, you can't be all up in the comments. That I'm glad that you have somebody that's like buffering, because there are going to be people who absolutely want to engage in very meaningful conversation. Then there are people who are just ready to dump on you for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. Now, see, we as reality fans have already been scarred by this dude on Netflix who decided to just withhold the fact that he was a whole daddy and make it seem like he was a sperm donor. So we have been scarred. So that was a reflection. Like now people are conflating the two. I'm just explaining to you what's happening.
Thank you, because I know what that was. I didn't know what it was.
Yes. I'm putting these two things together. Okay.
What show was that?
Love is Blind.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Wow.
Yeah. And he withheld being a dad. And then when it came out, he said he was a sperm donor. And then it turns out that he wasn't really a sperm, whole thing. Okay. So now everybody's scarred by that. So they're like, oh, it's another one of, I can't remember what his name is.
That's not fair though, because Jorge had nothing to do with him. It's not fair.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, I'm just explaining what's happening. I'm explaining the climate.
Okay, so now I have an understanding why they have been
Tyler.
throwing hate
Yes.
my way. Like I'm like, what the hell? You know, and the funny thing is, anybody who knows me and Vanessa, I love my children, love them. Claudia knows I love my
Yeah.
children. I'm very very happy, amazing human beings. And obviously, how can I be on a show and hide my children? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But the reality was, I felt at the time when it was supposed to be brought up, like, in the promise room, it wasn't the right time. I'll take full responsibility for my actions. People can hate me for my actions. That's fine. I'll take it. You know, hey, I did what I did, and you know, it didn't make a difference in our relationship. So, you know,
I see a comment from Miki for 4010. Good Lord, Claudia really likes this guy. Okay, Jorge is my friend, right? And he hasn't done reality. Well, one other reality show, but we won't talk about that right now. Okay.
right,
um, uh, I understand what it feels like to be misunderstood or misrepresented on a TV show, or not saying Netflix, but like being misunderstood by the people watching. So yeah, if I seem like I'm a little protective, yes, I am, because I get how it is. And if is this your first, second time out? It can really drive you crazy and really mess with your head when you be like, oh my God, why do people think I'm such a bad person? I'm not. So yes, maybe I'm speaking and capping for him a little bit more than usual, but I understand he's a good person. He really is. And I don't think he's going to be a person that's going to go in here, lie to this woman, try to have sex with someone that says, I'm celibate, or deny his kids. And I do know how reality TV production goes. And if you're new to it and you're not a veteran in reality, you will just go along and just, like, the producers tell you, you got to be here and say this, don't say that. Now's not the time, you do it. And then later on, you're left holding the bag and you have to pay for that for the rest, for eternity. When you like go back, you're like, damn, if I could go back, I wish I would have said it then. But I was listening to the producers. I was listening to the experts. So I just want to just make that very clear. And I just feel like there's no class to tell people how to work and how to navigate through reality TV. You learn it by trial and error.
Yeah.
No.
She followed up saying, I get it, but Erica isn't the bad guy. I think the point here is that no one's the bad guy.
Yeah, she's not a bad guy. Oh.
I think and that's the thing. It's like we very rarely are able to have like a nuanced conversation about things that are very real, and people have very true feelings for all sorts of reasons that should be respected. But
right,
ultimately, when we're having this conversation, I do want to at least put some context to where some of these comments and feelings are coming from. I'm not saying that they're warranted. I'm just simply saying that it's important to understand, because at the end of the day, we want to watch these shows. We want to be
right,
entertained by these shows. But
right,
it doesn't mean that someone who we have enough people to villainize, is particularly when we're talking about what I think is a very sticky situation, sexual domination or the imbalance of power. And we shouldn't be throwing people under the bus when it's unwarranted, because we have plenty of people that is very warranted and we should save our smoke for them. So I just want to be very clear about
I
that.
agree. And you know, and I want to say that first of all, I think Netflix and Velvet Hammer Media, which is for women, and I want to give them a shout out because it's four women that started. I think the world of them. I think that they're amazing production, amazing everything. That I applaud Netflix for even doing such a polarizing topic in dating. I think it's something that needs to be addressed. I think that, you know, some of the women on the show were saying, why can't a woman, an older woman, date a younger man? I agree with them. So I think that you have to give Netflix a lot of credit for the fact that they even had a show like this, and that they are brave enough to face such a polarizing topic. That being said, I think that also, like you said, Erica, and you and Claudia together, y'all are a perfect team, because like, I think that, yeah, these are issues. I'm glad you gave me clarity to some of these things that are going on that I did not even know that existed. I think it's unfair sometimes though when people project other people's problems onto, you know, me. Like for instance, the one thing that's interesting, like when you say the power dynamic, the reason why we even have these issues brought up between me and Vanelle is because I was giving her, Farrell, will you stop? I'm sorry, my dog is going crazy. So the one thing I was giving Vanelle is, I'm not going to take your power. I want to hear your voice and tell me what it is that you are seeing. What are you feeling? And I think I was very, I don't know if, I mean, you both have seen the show. I think I was very patient with her in trying to make sure that I hear her and let her know that she's heard. Now, you know, I'm at all times, communication is the most important thing to me. So I'm always trying to be a better communicator. When I look in hindsight, when I look back at it, maybe I could have communicated better. Maybe we could have spoke about this abstinent issue a little bit deeper. The issue in Vancouver with this guy, maybe we could have talked about that deeper, because I don't think that those two little things should have ended our, you know, our relationship on the show, you know. So I think that I'm always looking to be a better communicator, and whatever, you know, whatever negative anybody takes, I'll take the hate. Don't give it to her. Leave her alone. But I'll take the hate. But it's just, I mean, I'm gonna always protect her. Point
That's
blank,
very
period.
kind. That I like that you're saying that, because it's easy to say, you know, no, don't be mad at me, be mad at her. The off, real quick, I know we got to let you go soon, but the off-camera altercation you had with the guy who would come up to you guys on the street. What did you want to say about that altercation? And you know, do you think it was more the age difference with you and Vanille, or was just like, I mean, there's other reasons to not work out. Do you think age has the most to do with it, or just like a difference in personality?
I think it's more personality. I wouldn't say age, but it is her experience, but it's a different type of experience. Vanelle's never been in that type of a situation on the streets where I have been. So I've been in multiple situations, you know, coming from New York, where I've dealt with people like this. So this guy, that one thing I'm not going to do, I don't care any woman, if you two are walking with me, if you're in my presence, you will not make a threat, or you will not do anything physically threatening to a woman around me. I'm going to defend her, period, point blank. So in Vancouver, there was a guy that was behind her, and he had a skateboard in his hand, and he's making remarks. Now, Vanilla and I disagree as to, you know, what the severity was. I know a threat when I see one, and that's my opinion. So I told her, go in front of me, and then I dealt with the threat, and like I talked to him and let him know I'm not going to have it. So that's just a difference, you know, that, hey, that's the way I'm going to handle it. And I'm, like I said on the show, I said this on the show, I'm going to handle it 10 out of 10 times like that. I'm never going to let you put any woman that I'm with in danger. And I'm not going to wait to go, oh, you hit her in the head. I didn't think you were going to hit her in the head. Oh, I didn't know you had this, you know? So I'm not going to wait for that moment. I'm going to take care of that myself.
So are you a Sagittarius or a Taurus?
Neither.
What?
I'm a Gemini.
Oh.
Don't you start with that. I should have said, you know what? I should have said dollar sign. Dollar sign. That's my sign. Don't you start with that.
No, that's interesting that that whole thing went down like that, because my husband immediately turned to me and just like went like, because we've gotten into it based on something that's happened in the street, because the way that we handle things are very differently. And I can see the escalation, and he will try to bring it down. Like he would have done what you did. But that makes me very nervous, because I have been jumped before. So I don't like I just want to get out of it, but he'll do what you did. And so we've had a very similar back and forth. So I can understand how that happens completely. I understood that 1,000,000%. And honestly, neither one of you were wrong.
That part. You know what's funny is you made me think of a Jack Nicholson line in A Few Good Men, where he said, you know, you lay under the blanket that I provide, the security, and then complain about how I'm doing it. And what I think what it is I agree with you. Neither one of us are wrong. I think that women will sometimes say they want a man that's a protector and provider. Well, if I'm the protector, you gotta let me protect. And sometimes we may look at a situation different than you may. And if I see a guy, I don't believe a guy who's making threatening remarks with a skateboard. I don't believe going, can you please leave us alone, is going to make him go away. And that's not been my experience. So I'm going to step to him with the same amount of aggression that he presents, to let him know that, nah, it's not going down here. Like, you may try to somewhere, someone else, but it's not going to go down here. And I think that I can understand any woman feeling like uncomfortable, because it was an uncomfortable situation. But I have to do what I think is best in protecting her. Period. And I don't mind. Listen, you know, it was said to me, well, what if he would have had this or had that? Well, then he would have been dealing with me. She would have been okay. I don't mind, but I'm going to make sure she's okay. That's just my That's how I feel about it, So
I mean, I'm not mad at that either. Because I mean, nowadays you see girls fighting for them. I got this boo. No, we say we want that, and when it shows up, it's like a lot. So, hey man,
yes,
I'm not mad at that.
yes,
So,
yes.
would you do a reality show again, like dating show? Do you think or how do you feel about it? Has it left you like turned off by it, or would you do it again?
Because of Netflix, I can say Netflix did such an amazing job. I would, but then that was tough. That was tough. It was
Mhm.
very, very tough. It was a lot more than I ever imagined or experienced. But it was I'll say this. So the one thing that I'll say, yes, I would do it again because Netflix created an environment that, what's funny is I left there with 18 new brothers. Like we have such a bond and strong relationships. And the women, I'm close and cool with all the women. So we left with some really, really lifelong friendships, which I appreciated. So I'm so thankful for that. And I have love for Vanelle. Vanelle's cool people. I'm gonna be bride with her, to the end. She's still cool with me. I don't understand how you could break bread with someone and care about someone, and then it doesn't go the way you want, and you go, oh, I hate that. No, I'm not with that. Like I said, if anybody's got hate, come for me. Leave her alone.
I love that. We're going to leave it that on that protective note because I think that's a good place to leave it. Thank you for coming on the show. Was it too bad for you? Was it hard? Do you feel like we came for you a little bit, or you good?
No. You know what, Claudia? Listen, for that person who asked the question, Claudia, both of y'all, I thought y'all did an amazing job, and y'all didn't come for me at all. And I appreciate the questions that y'all asked. I think they're very, poignant questions and answers that needed to be had. So I appreciate you both. And I'm a virgin. I'm not a virgin no more. It's my first, podcast or interviews that I did with y'all. So
Really? We
yes,
are his
yes,
first, Erica. We took his
yes.
virginity.
You did.
You're
Y'all
so
took my
welcome.
virginity. I feel so triggered.
Well, I guess he's not celibate anymore.
And on that note,
All right. Where can they find you? I know you got some projects. Where can they find you on social media? Or
you can
keep
find
up
me
with
on
you?
social media on Instagram at Attorney Jorge. As same thing as on TikTok. And as I do, go check out my film, the one with Morris Chestnut. Just came out of got 11 Academy Award festivals that we did, and it was on American Airlines, and we got more to come.
What's that one called?
It's called The Origin.
The Origin.
Yes,
Congratulations, Jorge. Well, we
That's
appreciate
amazing.
you. If it gets bad again on social media, just let us know. You come back and you can address the haters, okay?
yes. I will come back to y'all any day.
Oh, your sister, I
I
said
love it.
hello. I know she's a big fan. I appreciate
My
her so much.
sister loves you, man.
Robin, right? Is her name Robin?
Yes.
Hey, Robin, clip this right here. Hey, Robin, we appreciate you so much for the love. And yeah, you a real one for rocking together.
She
Thanks,
rides with
Jorge.
you. Absolutely.
Thank
Erica,
you.
pleasure.
It was a pleasure to meet you
And
as
I
well.
didn't even feel, Erica, like you came for me. And I'm going to leave it there. I love this. Just remember this next time, if we ever see each other out, me, you, and Claudia, don't ever, I'm the good guy.
Yeah, it's okay. You can buy all my drinks. Okay.
All right. Bye. Thank you. All right. I know he was feeling a way about like, what the fans were telling him. I was saying, I was like, Jorge, I know it's like your first time really doing this. And it comes with it. But
Yeah.
I would like to say that there's also a lot of people that are supportive of him as well. I've seen a lot of women like, well, he can come over here.
Mhm.
And I've seen a lot of, Jorge, there's some ladies out there that want you. So I'm just saying.
Oh, my Lanta. I'm sure that's not shocking. I'm sure it's not. All right. Well, we got to get to it because there's another show that's dropping. You just happen to be in it. It's a documentary called Dirty Rotten Scandals. It's dropping tonight. The episode is all about The Price is Right, and it features our very own Claudia Jordan. Now, Claudia, you were a model on the show for 2 years.
3.
And you actually replaced our next guest, but the beauty who made TV history as the first Black woman to model on the show. I remember her so well. Please welcome Miss Kathleen Bradley.
Yay! I love me some Kathleen.
Hi.
Hey, beautiful.
Hi. Hey, you guys. You can hear me and see me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? And you all did tear that poor boy's ass, a new one. Shame on you. But that's what you do. Spill the tea. And I love the show. And first of all, I just really want to say congratulations on your award nomination for the NAACP award for the talk show. That was wonderful. The nomination, just to be nominated. There's so many podcasts and talk shows out here, and you ladies do shine. And I watch your show from time to time, and I do appreciate all that you both do.
Thank you. We appreciate you. You are a legend and an icon. You really are.
Oh my gosh. And absolutely gorgeous. Like, I feel like I can feel like, I'm not even kidding you. I can like, I'm gonna get like emotional.
Oh my God. Here she goes.
I know. Claudia hates when I cry. I can just feel my big mama's presence because we would watch.
Oh, thank you. I know that so many people that come up to me and approach me and say that their mothers, grandmothers, and everybody that back in the day, especially, used to watch the show and how they could relate to it. And that makes me just feel so good to know that.
Yeah. So thank you for being here. Oh my gosh. Claudia hates when I cry.
I don't know what to do. I'm like, do I laugh? Do I smile? Do I look serious? I can't hug you. I'm just like,
no.
What do I do?
Let's start with you stepping into.
I can move that phone screen.
Oh,
sorry.
No. Let's start with when you stepped.
That's a real landline, people. I'm sorry. Let's ignore it.
I have one too. People make fun of me.
So you stepped into this role as being the first Black permanent model. What kind of pushback did you face?
Well, I mean, it wasn't really a pushback, but the thing was that it was just so wonderful that I was able to be at the right place at the right time when the call came for me to be a Barker's Beauty. And I always tell the story. I just had my son in November and pregnant and had him out. And the call came for me in January to audition for The Price is Right as the new Black model that they were looking for the show. And, you know, and Claudia, you all know that our entertainers out there, your face and your body are your passport in this business. You always have to be ready no matter what. When people say they put on 10 or 15 extra pounds, it was the baby fat. That's bull crap. I know some people have had kids at 20 years old. They're still talking about the baby fat. Okay. So you just have to really be prepared. And I worked out all the while I was pregnant and just kind of eased my way into the audition. They saw so many different women, girls from different walks of life. I mean, not walks of life, but ages, ranges, and different places. And the timing just really was right for me to be on that show. And the thing is, I was able to relate to Diane, Holly, and Janice because of our age range. And I think sometimes when the producers and people casting were looking for a new fourth Barker Beauty, mind you, that they didn't think or take into consideration the age range. And believe me, Janice, Diane, and Holly were not having a chick 20 years younger that could have been their daughter to be on the show, which there were some other women that were in high contention. But at the end of the day, I prevailed. And it's just a great feeling to hold that title, so to speak, and represent our people at that time, and just so rewarding.
Back then, Kathleen, I mean, I think you like the way Erica had such an emotional reaction. I mean, being a young Black girl back then, it was such a big deal to see a woman of color on television. I'd be like, oh my God, she's like us. She's one of us. Like, she could be a family member. You know what I mean? Like, it was a big deal because they were very, very, very limited roles. So you, of course, broke a barrier, which we commend you for that. But that usually comes with a cost. So what did that experience feel like in real time? Like, was there like, did anybody talk slick to you, or what happened?
Well, you know, first of all, it was a joy going up to CBS and working there every day. Well, not every day, 3 days a week. It was different. And we know that the people who have some type of, I don't want to say just being, racist. And I don't want to, I don't use that word lightly as well, because it was not a lot of real racist going on The Price is Right, but there were undertones,
yes,
even going through the gates at CBS, because there were only so many Black folks working at CBS, be it in front of the camera or especially behind the scenes. And I could count on my one hand, my two fingers, how many Black people were working behind the scenes when I got there. I was, of course, well received because, I was doing what I did on my level and not a real threat to anybody. The models really received me very well. Some of it's just that I can't hardly describe the essence of just being there. Like I said, a CBS has always kind of been known for not having to hiring a lot of Black people. And just, I felt a little uneasy at times, but, I think maybe because of my age and my experience, I overcame that and I prevailed. And that wasn't a big deal at some point to me.
Do you feel like there was particular people who really had your back behind the scenes, or did you feel very alone in that position?
No, I felt, well, Diane, she and I were good friends. She befriended me when I got there because Holly and Janice did not like Diane. They used to all be very chummy, chummy, chummy and go out together and hang out together. You have to remember they were all there like for 17 years together working. Janice longer than everybody, but they were the three models. I was the fourth wheel, the fourth model. So they had to take a little step back in their viewership on the show. But Diane, she pulled me in because she really kind of needed a friend to be on the show since she and Diane, Janice and Holly didn't get along. And we shared a lot of different things and talked about some things I kind of regret I told her. I didn't know she had the biggest mouth that she had, in secrecy as girlfriends and just working with people, you loosen up a little bit during the breaks and you talk about certain things that happened. And a couple of things got back to me that Diane had said to somebody else in confident, but little did she know that, this whole circle of friends and people in even Los Angeles, as big as it is, it's still cliquish.
Well,
so
she was running her mouth about your business, but her business was out there too because she was having an affair with Bob Barker, and it was known on set that she was going to his dressing room and she was giving him mouth hugs. Okay,
her business was blatant, darling. It was no secret, and we were all happy to know Bob was getting screwed. He was happy. We were happy. Okay, what's not to be happy about him having a little sex every now and then or what have you? But as you well know, things kind of took a very bad turn.
Did y'all hear them like doing it? Like, could you hear like?
No, no. And I am the one that actually started and made up that little thing. I would say when Diane would go down and come back up, and I'd see her after she'd been down to Bob's dressing room. I said, "Oh, Diane, oh, did you have some yogurt for lunch? Got a little bit right there." I would say that. I started that. Girl, you had some yogurt? Oh my God. Vanille
yogurt.
Oh, and it was so funny. And we laugh and just, True.
Big Mama did not know this stuff. Okay.
We Big Mama should not know this stuff. And that's why it's behind the scenes of The Price is Right. And that's why our story is so interesting that everybody has to tell and so excited about, doing this docuseries that is about to come very soon. There were so many things also going on before I got there, and obviously after I left that I was not aware of. I did write a book, and I found out a lot of different things from talking and interviewing a few people that were there that I had no idea was happening that I put into my book. And it's just, you never know.
I think one of the most interesting things that I tell people about, like people ask me, did Barb hit on you? I'm like, no, it wasn't Bob. He was messing with someone else. That was a consensual relationship, and everybody after Diane paid the price for their affair. You lost your job, I lost my job, all because if you don't lie for Bob and lie for him, you get fired. And if you don't go respond to his lawyers, you get cast aside, and they bring in a new model. But can you talk about how mad Bob Barker was when he found out his beloved Diane had sex with a Black man? One of them was a very famous singer that has some allegations right now.
Oh yeah, very famous singer that she talked to me about, which I kind of knew back in the day too. So, and I have that in my book, and she was talking about this guy. I'm not gonna mention any names and everything, though he was with Motown. And she had sex with him, and she was telling me about him and everything, and being in the hot tub and da 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 and everything and da da da. And she said, "Oh my God, he was so big. It really hurt." She said he was so big, but I still really liked him and cared for him. And I put in the book, I said, "Well, little did Diane know that I was already familiar with the old smoky dokey." I mean, nothing I didn't know, honey. Anyway, did I give it away? Anyway, so that was one black person she was with, and then another one, he was an actor. It's in my book, and it's common knowledge. People knew about it, and I won't mention his name now, but they really did have a very nice relationship.
Give us a hint.
Well, it's in the book. Tim Reed. Fuck, shit, I'm saying. Tim Reed. It was Tim Reed. They had a really nice, meaningful relationship before I even got there. They actually lived together on the QT. So I understand. But like I said, I didn't know a lot about some of these things until I left. But I knew she was with Tim. But
what was Bob's reaction when he found out that he had shared?
Oh my God, Bob hit the fan. I think who mentioned it to Holly or somebody mentioned it to Bob about that, because Bob, as well as he loved people and all the folks on the show, the black people and everybody else. I understand later they did accuse him of being a bigot and racist, which I never saw, and to this day I don't believe it. But his sidekick best lady Cheryl Paris said that he would say some things, but nevertheless, he exploded in the dressing room. He did. He just really, after all the other things, though, that Diane had done, because she was in Playboy magazine. One time, it was kind of okay and accepted, even with our illustrious Bob Goodson, Mark Goodson. Before he died, they said, "Okay, Diane, you did it. You did it okay. It was done in pretty decent taste." But then a second time she did a Playboy again, and that really set everything off. It really had a very negative snowball effect in terms of her persona, and people were seeing it. Look at The Price is Right, mom and pop, grandma home, apple pie kind of show for everybody, not looking at the Playboy and drooling over one of the models on the show. But Bob found that out and he exploded. And then that was loud. We all heard it on the whole set. It was between some of the shows and the rehearsals. And then Diane was going up the steps, and one of his assistants came up to Diane and said, Diane, you need to go and apologize to Bob. And she's like, for what? She said, I'm not apologizing to him. She said, I've sucked his dick long enough to kiss his ass now. Whoa, honey. I said, no, she didn't. Yes, she did. She sucked his dick long enough to kiss his ass. That shit, I mean, the whole studio, everybody got loud, quiet and everything. It was a big deal. There were some other big scenes and things that happened behind all that and more
on the documentary tonight, Dirty Rotten Scandals. If you want to hear this story and many more, it's on tonight on E. Woo, you gave us some tea. Was he more mad about her doing Playboy or more mad at Diane sleeping with black men?
Probably sleeping with black men. Yeah, I think Cheryl Paris is the one that told her or told me. After Cheryl Paris was his personal assistant, his go-to, his dog, his person, everything. And she was always there to do whatever he needed to happen. But after she got fired, when Janice, me, and Linda Rieger and a couple other people got fired, honey, Cheryl Paris told everything about Bob. She was so pissed off because that whole termination of these ladies and women did not go over well with any of us. The way it was done, there's a way to do things when you terminate people. Bob was nowhere around. It was really just an ugly situation and so sad, very painful. But Cheryl Paris, honey, she said a lot of things. I quoted what she said and put it in my book. It was bad about Bob because my book, Backstage at The Price is Right, Memoirs of a Barker Beauty, which you can get on Amazon, had nothing to do with what I was trying to talk about in my book. But I was able to say it's not a Bob Barker bashing book, but a lot of the truth came out when I was writing it. And some of the things I did put in there, she said that was like, whoa, really? about Bob.
Kathleen keeps it a buck. I love it. Why were you fired, Kathleen? If you were to say, why were you fired?
Oh, I was fired because the last deposition we did, because of Holly and telling the truth, Bob felt that we had to go. Me, Janice, and Linda Rieger, and everybody else. See, the thing is, and you know this, and truth be told, everything really did happen a spiral out of control after Diane left the show, and then Diane accused Barker of sexual harassment. That tarnished his whole persona. That made him so vulnerable to different things and people coming at him that he had never experienced before. And we knew full well that that was not what it was. But once you get accused of sexual harassment or something that dangerous, that big, even though he got exonerated to a degree where she dropped the lawsuit because we knew it wasn't true. But, you know, when you get vindicated, it's on page 5.
Mm-hmm.
When you get accused, it's on #1 front page. The all these tabloid, the tabloids were really big back in those days, and all that stuff. And honey, you know, some of the shit you can believe and some of it you couldn't. But actually, he never really got over that pain and hurt. But me, and then as a result, Holly would not do a deposition in support of Barker for the Diane case. And he never forgave her for that. So he kind of nitpicked on her for different other reasons and this, that, and the other. And it just turned so ugly and so real at some point. Because, you know, the ladies that had been there for so many years, I admired them myself and felt that, oh my God, this is like a security blanket. They've been there, Janice 29 years and Holly and Diane 18, 17 years. This is my dream job. I know I'll be here another 20, 30 years. Who knows? And you know, lo and behold, I was there 10, thank God, knock on wood. But after that, when we got hit with the news of the termination, they said, oh, you and Janice, we're going to give you a new opportunity. We're going to allow you ladies to start a new, well, it's going to be a television show. CBS wants to start, it's a model search show. You guys are going to be in charge of it. It's going to be great. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And it's going to be great for you and Janice. However, you will no longer be a Barker Beauty. Where's my pearls, goddammit? Where's my pearls? Clutch them pearls, honey. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, but I think I was still kind of excited about the possibility. Okay, I think I just got fired, but they're still going to have an opportunity for me and Janice to be involved in another show. Oh, wow.
And what happened with that show?
Hey, yeah. Honey, that never really happened, but they had some paperwork they had me take out and there and everything. And after that, when I got home, before I got home, I cried my eyeballs out in that parking lot. I could barely get out of the parking lot. I was crying like a freaking baby. I couldn't believe what I just heard. I actually got on the elevator when I was leaving Barker's room, which Barker was nowhere around. I got in there and I was just so like stymied and stunned and everything. I was in there for about a minute or two. And I kept, you know, and then the elevator doors opened and some people got in. And then I freaking realized I never pushed the button. That damn elevator on the same floor for like 2 minutes. I never pushed the button. I was numb. I was so numb. And I walked down that corridor and, you know, you've been down there too yourself, Claudia, with all the photos and the pictures of all the stars and people. When I walked down there, that corridor was like, you know, I felt like a prisoner just walking down the last steps and going into the whatever, like I'll never come back this way again. And walking through the guard station and getting in the car, I'll never be back here again. And that was so painful. I mean, that whole situation, oh my God, it hurt. At first, I kind of wiped it off and said, okay. But, you know, after Janice and I talked, when I did get home and talk to her, because she went in before I did to see what was happening, and she wouldn't tell me. We talked, and I did talk to an attorney and everything after a while, a period of time. I did get a settlement. I could have gone further. And I know Claudia and I were on another talk show the other day, and I said, you know, my husband just happened to be doing a bankruptcy. He has had a construction company, and we have children. We have 3 kids at the time. And it's like I wasn't working. He was in bankruptcy. And you know how it is if you get trying to sue somebody or trying to get some money from them, the rich people, they can hold out as long as they can, as long as they want, because they got the money, honey. And at my point in time, I'm like, after enough, and a month or two goes by and no income coming in, I caved. And I really wish I hadn't. But you know what, Claudia, you are the one who told me about some of the fan mail coming in, about the hate mail, not talking about calling me nigger, black, and this and that and everything. I never knew that. I never realized that.
Yeah.
I never do, because they would hold the fan letters and they'd open them up, rightfully so, to protect the client, this talent and what have you. Make sure there's nothing defamation about it, nothing, threatening and all that stuff. And you're the one that told me that about the letters that.
Well, I was lied to. I asked when I first found out how much we're getting paid. I thought we were getting paid more than that. So I said, I went to Phil, the guy that I had a problem with, the producer, and I said, hey, is there going to be a chance to make more money here? He said, yeah, of course. And I said, well, what's it based on? He said, your popularity. I said, well, how will we know how popular I am? He said, well, it goes by how many letters you get. So I remember saying, okay, great. So the first month or two, I only get like 4 or 5 letters. I'm like, I know more than 4 people from prison like me, okay? Because we get a lot of prison mail and the price is right. Yeah. So I'm like, damn, nobody's checking for me. So that made me have low self-esteem, thinking, damn, I'm not as popular as I thought. Well, there was a sister that worked in the office, and she's like, Claudia, I have thousands of letters I have here. Thousands of letters. I'll put them aside. I go, okay, I'm coming in tomorrow. I got there. She's like, you're not going to believe this shit. She's like, I think he listens on our phone calls. She's like, every letter that I had put aside for you, they are gone, thrown away. Someone went in the drawer. So that was a mental game that they would play, the network sometimes, or the company, to make you think you're less popular than you really are. So then you'll never ask for more money. And that was like a mind game. And I learned a lot in that show about like the mind games that corporations or companies can do to you to make you feel like, well, I'm lucky to be here. Like, let me not ask for anything more. And that's what they did.
Yeah. I think I was a little naive to some of that, because when you have to imagine, I was a little old. I was much older when I got on the show compared to the others. I think I was 41 or something. So I was already set in my ways and I was secure. I mean, it was like I wasn't hungry for the job. It was great to have. And sometimes I didn't really worry about a lot of other external things going on around me. And that was one of them. They never mentioned anything about that, having the letters and everything. But you know what? So much changed when you guys came into fold.
Oh, then they had Playmates on there. Like, they were so against it before, but then they went out of their way and they hired Playmates of the Year, beautiful women. But like, they acted like it was such a negative thing before. So they're all over the place. Well, Kathleen,
I'm curious because Claudia, you replaced Kathleen, right?
And I will say this, I can never replace her, but the only reason I got my job is because they did her dirty, or she would have still been there. Like, I have to say, look, no, I tipped my hat. I knew that I never got in there like, oh, this is my shit. I only got that opportunity. It was bittersweet because they did my girl dirty, and I'll always appreciate her. She embraced me. Always show love. I
remember when you and I met for the first time. I was across the street in the center or somewhere at a bar and stuff. You, me, I think Nikki's earring was there as well. And you went to get some tips for me and whatever. And that's when we first got embraced, and I really first met you. And it was just such a pleasure, and knowing that they had made a very good choice. And you can call it replaced or not, but somebody to fill my shoes, and that it was you. And that really, I was really proud to see that, because it could have been a whole nother direction that they went into, but they knew they had to have a very nice looking Black woman to represent the Barker Beauty on the show. And I thank God I did set a precedence. So you were just the perfect person, girl, with your fine self.
Very big shoes to fill. You are beautiful to this day. Drop dead gorgeous. And so Kathleen is flexible. When I first met her, she had some leather pants on, right? She lifted her leg up and licked her leg. I said, oh, I like her. I like this one.
I know both of you and I are so much alike. I call her my mini me. You know, I do have a daughter, my Cheyenne. She's cool and good. She's cool, but she's a lot like me in a different realm. But Claudia is so much like me with her broadcasting. I have a broadcasting major, TV shows and different things and activities we do, and how we think and our perspective about life and how we perceive things, and the kindness we show to people, and our heart, and how we give unconditionally to folks and people. And though that we are very attractive looking young women, that, you know, we were brought up and raised in the right realm to just give. My mother would always say, beauty is as beauty does. And I've always kept that in mind. And Claudia is the same. And, she's just done wonders
Look at you.
throughout the years and so many things. Yeah,
That's
I tell
a
you.
baddie. That's a baddie right there. To this day, she got that same body too. She got that same body.
And I just love some of those scenes in there. Oh, child, ain't the same. I love some of those scenes we had when we did the showcases and, dressed as like a pineapple. And we just had such a great time back in the day doing the show. But one thing after, Bob would talk to us, the models, after the showcases, and they might have all crapped out, whatever, overbid. And he would say, hey, how you doing, Kathleen, Diane? Da-da-da-da. After the Diane incident, honey, we never said a word. He didn't ask us shit.
Girl, he didn't speak to us. He barely made eye contact with us.
I know. Yeah. Oh, it all changed. Everything changed. Girl, it was like, oh my God. It was like drastic cut off. A lot of different things that happened before did not happen.
So in terms of Dirty Rotten Scandals, because it comes out tonight,
What
do you think the conversation is going to be after this airs and, it goes out until the Twitterverse or the Instagramiverse?
Well, I believe a lot of people will be enlightened and they are going to see the truth said by many different people from many different aspects of the show, not just the models. You will hear from the associate producers, some of the assistant people working behind the gaffers and behind the scenes, and people working in the office at Goodson Productions. So you're going to hear a lot, and the former models, of course, you're going to hear a lot of different things, but it's going to all come together as one, because everybody's going to be talking about pretty much the same thing that happened, and our episodes of just unbelievable things that you would never think were going on behind the scenes there at The Price is Right.
I remember one time I complained about a producer grabbing my ass, and I went to a female producer, and this will be all on the show tonight. And instead of being supported, I was brought to Bob's dressing room with my abuser. And it was me versus two men standing there, and they were like tall and like just Phil was in my face, like super close. And Bob, instead of addressing me complaining about being groped by his executive producer, said, "Now, Claudia, I heard you've been late a few times, and if you're late again, you get a warning. And if you're late again, you'll be fired." I said, "But what about?" Well, he said he was sorry. What more do you want from the man? I was like, what? So it never was about me complaining about this gross, disgusting slob of a man touching me. It was about me being late. So then they started to produce a paper trail to kind of get like the goods on me. And I heard, you'll see it on the show tonight, how Phil would set the clock forward a few minutes. So it looked like I was late when I wasn't late. He would tell the security guard in the front, the minute Claudia gets here, you let me know. And he would go change the clock. So I started getting all these like marks on my record. It got to the point where I'd be so scared to be late. I remember one time it looked like I might be like 1 minute late just to arrive, not to go to be on camera. And I would rather call in sick and miss a whole day's pay than have him have that over my head. And it was such anxiety every single day with LA traffic. It was so scary every day.
I heard that about you too. Somebody said that. I said, they said, well, Claudia was late all the time. I think, and if I recall, I talked to Phil Wayne one time after I had left the show later down the line, obviously, when he was at the car selling new cars in Calabasas, because
when he got fired because of my lawsuit, he had to sell cars. Yep.
I wanted to get a car. And I said, oh, Phil, I kind of like Phil, whatever. Girl, I'm so gullible and I'm just like so happy-go-lucky. I'm the kind of person, I might pat one of them people on the ass myself. That's how I am. Okay, I'm fresh. I can't help it. But it's not right. And I'm not saying to advocate for freshness, but especially on the other side of the realm. But, Phil was very, he would make you feel uncomfortable. Yeah. No, there's no question about it. And I did see some things from him. And rightfully so, he should have been gone a long time ago. But I did speak to him one time, and he mentioned that. He said, yeah, Claudia, she was late coming and everything, and we had to get rid of her. I'm like, okay.
That's not why.
Before you and I were really, but I know why not. But that's what you had heard as well, and that's what they were saying. And they're always trying to dig somewhere, some way, somehow to get rid of somebody. So if you tell the lie long enough and many times over and over, people are going to believe it. So
I was never late for the show, but yet I seen models come in hungover, high on drugs, all kinds of things. And you're going to talk about 1 minute late to arrive, and we still had to do a meeting, a rehearsal, hair and makeup, and then get on the show. Like, fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, they had to have some kind of excuse,
campaign.
Huh? What'd you say?
It's called a smear campaign. People are much more familiar with that now.
Well, now that I know that he was telling you and talking shit about me being late, it makes me feel much better about the petty shit that I did. So I had a friend of mine call that car dealership that he was working at, and they asked for Phil Rossi specifically, Phil Wayne. And they said, I want to come down. I want to buy a fleet of cars. And I heard good things about you. So they told him to kind of prepare that they wanted to purchase a really big sale from him. And then they never showed up. And that was my pain.
I know you told that story. That is so funny. He deserved every bit of it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
This was so good.
This was amazing. I mean,
I know we could talk for hours, but I know only so long with the show and everything, because so much to tell and so much to do. And I do want to say one other thing. I want everybody to kind of look out, coming in the near future, a movie that I'm starring in called The Daughters of Dolomite. And I am, my character's name is Lock 'em Up Lottie. Lock 'em Up Lottie is a probation officer, but she's just a nasty honey. And she got, the very first scene, I don't even want to tell her she's in the back in her office. She's a probation officer, and you see the back of the chair, you hear a vibrator going. This girl's walking in. I'm like, who is it? I turn around, honey, and I put my vibrator down and I go, Lock 'em Up Lottie makes Miss Parker look like a saint, honey. It is some funny shit. Dolomite, Rudy Ray Moore. He's so incredible. We had the screening premiere last night. It went over so well. And this is just a nice character that I embrace. Of course, I didn't have to stretch much, but anyway, it was just so much fun. And we had a great turnout yesterday. And you're going to hear more about it, The Daughters of Dolomite. So kind of look out for that in your local theaters coming pretty soon, I hope.
I'm so glad you're doing more films, like your iconic role as Miss Parker or Mrs. Parker in the Friday films. And you are just like, as you can see here, y'all, you see why she was in entertainment so long. She's entertaining, she's beautiful, she's fun, she doesn't take herself too seriously, she's a good time and a good person. That's why for her to say the environment was bad, and you see how open she is, that means it really was, because she's not a prude by any stretch of the imagination. She's solid and she's so fun. Oh, Kathleen Bradley. We love you, Kathleen.
Thank you, honey.
My face hurts from smiling.
I know, honey. Yeah, like I said, we could stay on for hours, but it was fun. And both of you ladies, you guys both compliment each other so well. And I think that's what people like. And, it's just you give and take, and you just know kind of when to hold them, when to fold them, and make it go on, and the tea in the tea room and all that stuff, and just tell it like it is. And keep roasting them men, honey, because most of them full of shit.
And also, I want people to go back out there and get your book again. Please tell them the name of your book one more time.
The Backstage at the Price is Right, Memoirs of a Barker Beauty. You can get it on Amazon. It used to be on Barnes & Noble, but Amazon for sure. And actually, the whole series of the docuseries for The Price is Right was based loosely on my book. So they did use a lot of things that I put into the book for the show, which I was very, wonderfully amazed at and very well compensated for. I'm not supposed to say that. But, that was my material. But when you do these talk shows and documentaries, they usually don't pay you, which is okay, because they don't want the people to think that they've paid you to say certain things. Yeah. But a lot of good things came out of this whole documentary, and I think people are going to really enjoy it.
Well, when you guys get done watching the show, you go to eat. It's going to play at 8 o'clock. Then again, it repeats at 10. So I'm going to go catch it right now. Kathleen, anytime you have anything to promote, you have an open invitation to come back here. You are fun as hell. So we need you back here. When you have something to promote, please. Maybe.
I love you, Miss Claudia. And I love my girl, too. Both of you guys are so sweet. Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Woo!
Oh, my gosh. I am living. I am living.
How good was she? She's so good. Like, she's such a good interview. She's so fun. Yo, she gave it up, didn't she?
Oh my Lanta. My face hurts. Like, I cannot. Oh my gosh. And the informers, Letty Betty, I can listen to her all day. Where did Claudia go? Sneaker Quinn says, watching in the doc now. Watching in the doc now. Lauren, 1987, fantastic podcast. Oh my gosh, you guys, that was
excellent. She's so good.
Oh, that was amazing. That was amazing. Shea Butter Mama, I definitely wasn't ready.
She is, Kathleen is everything. She really is. Like,
oh my gosh.
She's so like, she's not gonna be like, well, I can't say that. She's gonna give you a good interview. Okay?
Yes. Oh my gosh. When I want to be Kathleen.
Yo.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
And she's really good friends with Jane Kennedy.
Okay. Yeah.
They share an ex. So yeah.
Gosh. Oh my gosh. This was amazing. This was amazing.
JGRW1. Mind your business. Claudia, did you get some this week? Oh my God. I can't believe you.
What?
Wow.
I mean, you are glowing. You're glowing. Oh my gosh, this has been amazing. This has been absolutely amazing. Informers, we love you so much. We really do.
Okay.
Claudia. Oh my God. Oh, wait. Here. All of our informers, a bunch of y'all, go over to Spotify and listen to a couple episodes, okay? Because we are really close. Did you know we were in the top 5% of all videos watched on Spotify in 2025?
What?
Yes.
No, I didn't know that.
Yes. So thank you, informers. Head over there, catch up on some other episodes because we're hitting other milestones over on Spotify. So make sure that you support in that way. Or as always, you can follow us on Patreon.
Please tell a friend about this show. I think we got to grow this thing out this year. We really got to grow it out and do some great things. But yeah,
it's happening. It's happening.
That was fun. That was one of my. I think that might be my favorite interview we've ever done.
I know. So good.
Like, she's off the chain. I love her. That's big sis right there.
Oh
and
my
nobody
God.
talk about Miss Kathleen Bradley around me.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing.
We gotta all hang together one day because she's just like that in person. Like, she's so. My first time meeting her, she lifted her leg up and licked her leg. She had some leather pants on outside. You off the chain, girl. I like you.
Oh my God, I love this. I love this. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so make sure everybody, go watch it. We'll talk about it next week. I need y'all to please watch the show. Dirty Rotten Scandals on E. It's on right now, but it's going to repeat again at 10 o'clock. So I already started out here. So I'm going to watch it right now. And we're going to take questions for next week. And, we're going to have fun. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, okay. Real quick to our Patreon crew, we appreciate you. We're taking a quick pause on the bonus story this week because we gave you a good extra, we gave you a lot today. We'll be back next week with more. In the meantime, we're trying to get Eric Benet on the show.
That's right. Next week, right?
We're trying to get him next week if he's not. Yeah, he's all over the place. I want to hear his political commentary. We'll be back with more. So drop your topic requests below in our comments, and we'll talk about it. Make sure you like, subscribe, tell a friend, and we'll see y'all next week. Go watch Dirty Round Scandals right now on E. Bye, Erica.
Bye.
Put it on, girl. Let me see it. Put it on, girl. Let me see it.